आपको आवाज़ आ रही है? Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, I,
Good afternoon.
I am Dr. Shweta Sharma, and we will be conducting the proposal conference for digital amplification, social media management, and website operations maintenance for DMO. Could we move to the next slide, please? Just a disclaimer before we start that all the information that is in this presentation, it is not authoritative advice regarding the RFP and its core agenda, and it is for information purposes. And it might not be the most up-to-date information. For that, you would need to refer to core agenda RFP documents on our website and on the ECPB portal. Um, So, in case you have any questions and answers, you will see a chat box on the right hand side of your window. You can just log in there and post your queries regarding the RFP and the presentation that we are having right now. And I will also request you to post your name, company designation, and company information so that we may reach out to you with responses. So I would like to begin the conference by introducing our Joint Secretary of Development Monitoring and Evaluation Office, Niti Aayog, Sri Shailendra Dwivedi ji, who is also leading the monitoring, capacity building vertical in addition to the website and communications at DMO. Um, so, uh, so would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thank you, Shweta. And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this pre-bid conference. This is actually a very important, discussion that we are having in the build-up to, getting some responses for our, interface with the rest of the world, which is through our website, particularly, and supplemented by the social media and other communication strategies that we will look forward for this consultant to provide to us, with of course the required technological know-how and backing and experience of managing such services for similar organizations as ours in the past. So that's basically the ask of the RFP. It is very important for DMEO, given that there is a lot of expectation around bringing in know-how and updated knowledge about data analytics, monitoring, evaluation, and adaptive responses to based on whatever evidence we are gathering through this whole monitoring and evaluation process for our stakeholders, which are primarily central states, central ministries and departments, as well as the states in the country, so far as the government of India goes, but also all the other players in the ecosystem. So whether it is our own partners or whether it is knowledge institutions, there is a whole dependency on this website and how it functions and how well it is managed for our mission and vision to be achieved. You just saw that vision and mission in the previous slide, and hopefully you have had a chance to look at it. This is the range of our current activities. It's an ever expanding portfolio, and ever increasing sense of dependency on what DMEO does or what happens for development growth and inclusivity, better life for people in the country. So that's how important we think our work is, and we have realized that, well, we have had a fairly decently managed website until now, but that website contract has long expired, and it's actually running on an extended time right now. And we have an urgency to onboard a new vendor, new service provider, new consulting firm, as we are calling it, different terms, but for the same reason. We basically are looking for a good partner to manage our website communications and whatever that goes with it in terms of our communication strategy. So this is basically going to be the range of what we will be looking at in terms of constant communications. It is definitely something that will be very enriching for whoever wins this bid. It is going to be a challenge for sure, but also something that you can afterwards, mention to the whole world that you have managed the website for DMU. So let's move forward. I think is that all you wanted me to say, Shweta,
You would
or
like to talk a little bit more about gaming?
I think that part actually, they would have done. If there are questions about DMEO, we can answer those. But basically, we do work in the space of monitoring, evaluation, capacity building, and of course, we have a lot of internal communication to manage as well. For us to be able to reach out well to our clients. So it is all about monitoring, evaluation, and capacity building both for the center and the states. And there is a whole network of partners through which we achieve these objectives. So this explanation, if I give them in great detail, it will take a longer time. We'll have less time for questions perhaps. Maybe, we only tell them what they need to ask us. If they have read and understood, maybe, that's not an issue. What is very important is if they have got any challenge in, preparing the bid, something that will, enable us to prepare a good bid and, come out competitive in this, tender process, that would be great. So basically saving more time for that purpose. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so it's actually into the nitty gritty after this,
Yes, sir.
and maybe it is also good that we look at what is the core ask around the mandate of DMEO that this contract to whoever it is awarded will meet. And we have to say that we have had a failed bid process already, and we don't want this to fail this time. And of course, we also want to ensure that we get a good quality service provider at an affordable price, which is acceptable, as per all due diligence and comparative standards of pricing. So don't, make it difficult for us to onboard a partner as soon as we can, because this would actually mean a lot of difference for DMEO down the line. For us to deliver on our mandate of monitoring, evaluation, capacity building, and providing updated information. And there could be some additions to the scope of work as we are making new discoveries down the line, and we may need your advice on how we can get more customized content available to our users on specific themes and topics. So those issues can all come up. But right now it is about a website that is already there in a fairly good shape, and that website basically would be required to be maintained going forward. And there is not much of a redesign involved as of now. If there would be something that can be looked at as separately, and that's exactly the idea, because the team has worked with our current service provider design the website in a reasonably acceptable way so far as we stand right now. So there is not much of a redesign issue here. It's more about taking ownership from the current service provider, take it onto yourself, maintain what is already there, and maybe give advice to improve what is there, based on your understanding and inputs, and of course our requirements as we discover them going forward. So for the nitty gritty, for exactly how the contract should play out, I would request Dr. Shweta, Himanshu, and the team to take a lead. And hopefully, by end of this pre-bid, we will have a lot of clarity and assurance from your side that you will be coming up with responsive bids. The key word is responsive. Just please make sure that we have them. September is the due date, and it's 23rd August now, 24th August. So we have just under 10 days, and well, it is hopefully sufficient time, because you would have done your base work until now. Do clarify whatever else needs to be answered or clarified from our side. While we may not really be able to give you formal replies to the questions, we have received a lot of queries which we are in the process of replying formally, and those queries which will require a written response, we will be giving a written response after today's pre-bid conference also. So That's by and large the overview. And over to you, Shweta.
Thank you, sir. So, without further ado, we'll just move into the terms of references. Can we move to the next slide? Thank you. So, as you may all know, we are looking to engage a qualified technical consultant for managing our DMO website and social media platforms in a more integrated manner. So, currently, we have a service provider who is managing the DMO website. But the social media platforms, which we have three platforms: YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter, those we are managing in-house currently. So as a part of the engagement, we are seeking support in three areas. One is regarding the website operations and maintenance. As Shailendra sir already mentioned, the website design and redevelopment has already been done. So in case there is any development work, that would be minor, and any major developments we can discuss. Uh, Secondly, the second area is social media. So much of my feedback I cannot hear you. Okay. I hope I'm audible now. Yeah, I hope I'm audible now. So,
Yeah.
second, thank you. The second area is social media management. The three platforms that we have, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. The consultant would be managing these platforms so that the content is up to date on both the website as well as the social media. And to support both these areas, the consultant would also be supporting us with content development that will go onto the website and social media like banners and small short videos, etc. Next slide, please. Starting off with the DMO website, it's a relatively new website, and we have been building content based on the work that we have been doing. It was launched first in 2019, and this year we have, as I mentioned earlier, made a few changes in the design of the website. But through this website, there are five broad objectives that we would like to cover. This website is the digital face of DMO, and hence we want to make sure that we're putting all the correct and accurate and up to date information out there. And we would like future partners to be able to understand what work is being done at DMO, and more importantly, our key stakeholders such as the central ministries and departments, the state governments, we would like and other professionals in the M&E community, we would like them to refer to DMO website as a knowledge resource hub. So that we can create a very collaborative network of all government and non-government stakeholders in the M&E ecosystem. Could you go to the next page? Social media is primarily to create awareness around M&E through our brand. So if you go to our website, you will see that the workshops that we have been conducting, the webinars we have been conducting, we have been posting about them, and the videos, etc., on our YouTube platform. So the objectives that I mentioned in the previous slide, we would like the social media platforms to actually support them effectively and create so that we are able to effectively disseminate information about DMU and the various initiatives that are being undertaken. And the third is content development. So each of these activities would require banners, creatives, etc. So as a part of the engagement, uh, the consultant would also be required to undertake content development and management. As a part of the RFP and TOR, we have defined certain SLAs for each of these areas. I will not get into too much details around this, and we have received a lot of queries around some of these aspects. So we will be, as Shailendra sir mentioned, we will be addressing those queries and responding in a after due approval on them. But just wanted to clarify that these service level agreements, they are would be largely applicable, but in case there are any exceptional circumstances, the SLA would be discussed and decided in discussion with the selected consultant. Similarly, for social media, we are looking at a digital communication strategy, and the SLAs are defined here. And we similarly have defined SLAs for content development and management. These are very clearly outlined in the terms of reference, so I won't get into too much detail here. Uh, yeah. So coming to the payment schedule, the payments would be on a quarterly basis, and you would be required to provide invoices in triplicate form on the last working day of every quarter for settlement. And this would be actually supported by a statement of work which which gives an update on certain parameters such as the SEO, the website performance, the social media activity, and any other content development that might have been undertaken. So here at DMO, we have a website and communications team which comprises of six team members. And similarly, from the consultant, we would request a designated director who would be the nodal for any kind of work discussions that would be done. So, moving on to the invitation, I'll request my colleague Kapil.
Uh, Thank you, Sweta.
Could you introduce yourself as well?
So, my name is Kapil. So, I'm here, economic investigator in DMEO, Niti Aayog. So, so basically, the key feature of the RFP is the single stage RFP is the two envelope process. One is technical and second is financial, and it is based on quality come cost based selection process, which is 70% is technical and 30% is financial. Next. So the structure of the RFP document. So there are three types of structures: the invitation of proposal and schedules and appendix. So the applicants have to go into the RFP. So I will not go into the details. Next slide. So now I'm moving to the eligibility criteria. So condition of eligibility for the lead firm, the applicant is the refer to the sole institution or the lead member, and the applicant must satisfy the below condition as mentioned in the RFP. So it must be a legal entity as per applicant law, and the applicant should have four eligible assignment as specified in the clause 3.1.4, and it should have received minimum revenue 1 crore per annum, and the professional fee during each of the three financial year, which is 18, 19, 19, 20 and 21. And the applicant should have not been debarred or blacklisted by central government or state government or any statutory public sector undertaking. And the applicant should be ISO certified. So next slide. And the eligible assignment, which is again referring the section 3.1.4 in RFP. So applicants should have at least a minimum four eligible assignment, and at least two eligible assignments should have included in website development and maintenance, and at least one eligible assignment should have included in social media management, and at least one eligible assignment should have included in content development. So, for the purpose of determining condition of eligibility and evaluating the proposal in the RFP. So, the advisory and consultancy assignment, United Nations organization, bilateral and multilateral agency, central or state government departments, and other agency, that is regulatory commission, tribunal, statutory authority, or public sector entities and private sector entities. For the provided that the applicant's firm claiming who's the credit for eligible assignment shall have professional fees of at least 20 lakhs for such assignment in respect of the website development, operational and maintenance, and the 3 lakhs for such assignment in respect of social media management. Next slide. So the next slide now. जो दिख नहीं रहा वहां से. So So the key personnel must fulfill the condition of eligibility specified below. So the team leaders education qualification must have bachelor degree in the equivalent engineering technology, computer science application, information technology, and it should have minimum 8-year relevant experience. And for the experience on eligible assignment, so the team lead should have at least 2 eligible assignment, and the senior software developers, it must have bachelor degree equivalent in the engineering technology computer science, and the professional experience should be minimum 5 year, and the for eligible assignment it should be at least one eligible assignment in the website and development operation maintenance. And for senior social media specialist, it must have a bachelor degree or equivalent in journalism and English communication marketing digital marketing related field, and it should have minimum 5 year experience and at least one eligible assignment. For the content specialist, it must have bachelor degree and the professional experience should be minimum 5 year experience, and the eligible assignment it should be at least one eligible assignment in the content development and management. So now moving to the technical proposal. So the criteria of the technical evaluation, we so basically there will the parameters and the maximum marks we have given to the applicants. So based on the relevant experience of the applicant, it should be 20 marks, which is bifurcated in 9 marks, which is maximum, shall be awarded for the number of eligible assignment. And if any of the above eligible assignment is completed for government department, additionally 3 marks will be given, and 4 marks shall be awarded for overall turnover of the applicant firm, and 4 marks shall be awarded overall experience of applicant firm. And the proposed methodology and work plan is for 35. So evaluation will be based on the quality of submission, and experience of proposed key personnel of the applicant is bifurcated in 4 parts. So first is team leader, that is 13 marks, and senior software developer awarded for 12 marks, social media specialist 10, and content specialist for 10. And so back to the previous slide. So the score of the technical proposal shall be enhanced by 10% for startups. So now moving to the financial proposal and combined evaluation. So this is the template of the financial proposal. So this needs to be filled as per the template by the applicants. And this is the screenshot of the CPP portal BOQ, bill of quantity. So this is the basically this is the same template which I have shown earlier. So in the next slide, evaluation of the bids. So based on evaluation of the bids, the financial and technical proposal will be calculated based on formula. So technical proposals assigned for 70%, and financial proposal weighted assigned for 30%. So now I hand it over to Himanshu.
Hello. Thanks, Kapil. Now moving to some other key clauses and some things that the applicant should keep in mind while submitting the proposals. So, so if you look at the Appendix 1 of the RFP, it consists of forms that are to be submitted as part of the technical proposal. And if you look at Appendix 2 of the RFP, then there are forms which are to be submitted as a part of the financial proposal. In the technical proposal, form number all the forms are to be submitted in the PDF form, plus form number 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 and 11 are to be filled in the attached Excel sheet, and the same has to be signed by the concerned authorized person, and that the PDF has also should be uploaded with the technical proposal. So the Excel file and the PDF both are to be uploaded for these specific forms, and other forms are to be uploaded in the PDF in the technical proposal. In the financial proposal, form number 2 should be uploaded in the Excel file which is named BOQ Excel, which is uploaded on the CPP portal. So now coming to some other key clauses. So the power of attorney, which is form 4, is to be uploaded in the PDF format. The hard copy for the power of attorney and bid security declaration form will be submitted by the selected applicant only during the time of award of consultancy. At this stage, original hard copy is not required. A copy of the CV, which is form 6 for the key personnel, should be signed by the each proposed key personnel and the authorized signatory of the applying firm. None of the key personnel should have attained the age of 75 years at the time of submitting the proposal. Now let me take you through the Excel file which is to be submitted along with the technical proposal. So this is the Excel form which is to be uploaded along with the PDF proposal. If you can look here, form number 2, 5, 6, 9, 8, 10 and 11 are to be filled and submitted. This Excel file, all the sheets are password protected. You are requested kindly not to tamper with the protection password and not to change any of the formats, otherwise it might lead to rejection of the proposal. Also, in case of any discrepancy in the information shared in the Excel and the PDF, this might lead to rejection of the proposal. Some other common mistakes that the applicants make is most of them don't fill these required information, which makes the proposal irresponsive, non-responsive, as well as it makes difficult to evaluate the eligibility of the applicant. Therefore, you are requested to kindly fill all the cells which are highlighted in yellow in the forms. Now, in some of the forms you are required to enter amounts. For example, in case of annual revenue, you are requested to kindly enter the full amount. Don't enter amount in lakhs or crores. If it's 1 crore, 2,50,000, then kindly enter the full amount. Don't enter just the lakhs or crores. Now, coming to the assignments that are assignments of the key professionals and the assignments of the firm. So the applicant is required to kindly provide information across all the columns for each of the assignment. For example, if uh, if the applicant wants their assignment to be considered eligible, then they are required to submit all the information for that particular assignment. Otherwise, it would become difficult for us to evaluate the eligibility of the assignment, and it might not be considered for the final scoring. So you are required to submit all the informations as per this table for each of the assignments that you want that you are submitting as an eligible assignment. Similarly, form number 10, 11 and 9 are to be filled wherever applicable. Kindly note that in form number 6 and form number 8, you are required to sign these forms by the authorized signatory of the applying firm as well as the chartered accountant or the auditor wherever it is applicable. If unsigned forms are submitted, then the bid might be considered irresponsive and might not be taken further for any bid evaluation. So these are also the applicant is requested to kindly see that whatever information is being shared in all the forms is consistent across all the forms. That's all from my side. So one more thing.
Himanshu, if I can come in.
Yes, Deepak.
It is requested to please take print out of all the Excel forms which is required to be filled in the PDF and then submit those forms in the PDF
Thanks.
with the signature of authorized signatory and wherever applicable the key personals.
Thanks, Deepak.
Thank you.
Thanks. So at this stage, the applicants may not submit the past work orders of the assignment. Coming to the timelines of this RFP, So today is the pre-proposal conference, which is 24th August 2022. The pre-proposal due date, so the proposal due date PDD is 8th September 11 a.m. Kindly make note of this date. That's all from our side. Now we will move on to the question and answer. If any from the audience having any of the questions, kindly post your questions along with your name and designation in the chat box.
So while we're waiting for the questions to come in, just a couple of clarifications here. With regards to the social media management aspect, we are currently only focusing on organic growth and on not looking at inorganic or advertising, etc. Also, in the financial proposal, this contract is going to be for 3 years. So you are requested to provide a lump sum for all the costs that would be involved, because based upon the requirements of the terms of references. So that includes all costs for security audits, etc. So you can go through the current website to get an idea of the scale and scope, and we'll be providing further details when we respond to the queries online. Secondly, there will be no further escalation on an annual basis on each of these, on the costs that are given in the financial proposal. So it has to, all the costs that are expected, including your escalations, etc., should be covered in the financial proposal. Also, coming back to what Himanshu, Shailendra sir, and Kapil have mentioned, please fill up the forms very carefully. Make sure that all informations have been provided in the format that has been requested. So, for instance, in case you are providing the plan, it should not exceed the page limit that has been provided in the RFP. There is one question from Mr. Brajesh Chaube. So he asked that, do we need to submit only government work orders, or can we submit private work orders also?
So at this stage, sir, you are not required to submit the work orders, but you can share the information of your past assignments in form number 6 and form number 8. At this stage, you are not required to submit the PDF scanned copies of the work orders in your technical proposal.
He has also asked a follow-up question as to what will be the minimum work order value.
So it is clearly mentioned in the clause number 1.3.1.4, which is I think 20 lakhs.
20 lakh for website and 3 lakhs for
content development and social media management.
So please make sure that the projects meet the minimum eligibility criteria, and please provide detailed descriptions of the work that you have been undertaken, so that it becomes easier for us to check whether the bill is responsive and eligible. Are there any other further questions? If somebody would like to.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Yash from EY. In the starting of the meeting of the conference, it was mentioned that the proposal due date is 4th of September, and in timelines it is mentioned as 8th.
Apologies, that was a mistake on our.
Yeah, so I believe that it is 8 now.
It is 8th. It is yeah, RP.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Meanwhile, if any other person is having any question, they may raise their hand.
So we have a raised hand from, there's someone. Any other question? So this one.
I think there is one question from Vipul ji. Sir, you may unmute yourself and ask your question.
Sure. So wanted to check as far as the site maintenance is concerned, what is the technology stack which is
Sorry, sir, can you repeat your question? Your voice was breaking.
what is the technology stack that is being used in the current website that we need to maintain?
So we will need to confirm the exact details, but this is the technical information will be provided as a part of the response to queries.
Okay.
So I hope you have mentioned this in your.
Yes, we have covered it. Just wanted
Okay,
to check.
sure. Then we'll be responding. Any other questions? On this question. So this is question is for you, Himanshu. In regards to bid security, do we need to just sign Form 12 or do we need to submit any other details? Bid security declaration form.
So currently you just need to submit the bid security declaration as per the format as mentioned in Form 12 of Appendix 1. You need not submit any other hard copy or any soft copy other than that. Yes, Abhilash ji, you may please ask your question.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good afternoon. So my question is mostly with regards to the form that needs to be signed on the Excel file, right? So I believe your evaluation team just kicked in when you were explaining the forms that a physical printout needs to be taken of form 8, 9, 10, and 11, duly signed by the key personals and then be uploaded back. Would you throw some light on that, please?
Yes, sir. Can you tell me what specific you want to know, sir? So these forms are to be filled in the Excel file which is shared. So you have to share the filled Excel file as well as the printout are to be taken and signed by the respective authorized person wherever it is mentioned. If the key professional's name is mentioned, then their signature is required. If auditors or chartered accountants signature is required, then that is to be signed by those. And the
Okay.
scanned copy of those are to be uploaded along with the other forms.
Exactly. So that's what I was just looking at, whether it needs to be submitted along with the Excel file and a scan
Yes,
copy of the PDF
yes,
should be
sir. Yes,
submitted together.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
So there was also a question from Siddharth Sharma at Mobi Casa. His first, Siddharth, I think your first question regarding bid security has also already been addressed. And also, I would like to, on the second point, would like to reiterate that the submission date is 8 September, 11 a.m. But it was an errata on our part to at the beginning. Uh, do we have any other questions or raised hands?
So, okay, sir, please ask your question.
Yeah, so I would refer to number 15, 16, condition of eligibility for key personnel of each. So you have requested for team leader, bachelor degree or equivalent engineering technology. So is this hard pressed rule that only engineering graduates are allowed, or people with any graduation with the required experience would be allowed?
So I think as long as it's a related field to any of the above mentioned, it would be acceptable, I guess. It depends on the profile.
So, sir, it's not just engineering technology. It includes computer applications, information technology, management,
Management.
or related fields.
Okay. So can it be any graduate with relevant experience?
So, sir, the minimum educational qualification should be met along with the length of professional experience.
It would help if you could give a specific example.
Yeah, I'm saying like if you're asking for some manager experience. So in that case, if we have a project manager who has a professional experience and certification in project management, rather than giving an engineering graduate, who doesn't have that skill.
So the educational qualification of such a person is currently in which discipline, sir?
He is a graduate,
They graduate in which discipline?
science.
So science would be a related field only.
Okay, so we can take it as a related field.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any other questions?
If there are no further questions, then we will wind up with this conference.
Can we repeat the timeline once, just
Yes.
just reiterate it?
Yes. So we are once again projecting the timelines for this RFP. So currently today is 24th August. Today is 24th August, which is the pre-proposal conference date, and the proposal due date is 8th of September, Thursday, 11 a.m. Kindly submit your technical and financial proposals before the proposal due date. Kindly don't wait till the last date. If any technical issue arises, then it would be difficult on your end to address the same. Kindly try to submit your proposals before the proposal due date.
So there's a question from Rajat. If social media executive travels for event with DMO team, then travel cost will be charged at DMO or vendor. So currently we don't have external events which are being covered uh, by the vendor. So, but any and so I think in such cases we can have a discussion and decide, because all costs that are expected to be incurred are to be provided in the financial proposal. But as of now, we don't have external events. Most of them are in Delhi. I think that we're done with the questions now. Himanshu, if you would like to close.
So thank you for your time and the further questions. I think there are no further questions, so we can just wind up with the session. Kindly remember that the proposal due date is 8th of September. You are required to submit your proposals before it.
And please do keep checking ECPP and DMO website for any further updates and response to queries.
Kindly submit your proposal and all the forms as mentioned in the RFP in the correct format with the signature of the required person. Most of the times the bid becomes irresponsive, or we cannot evaluate the bids or the eligibility of the applicant and the projects if all the information are not shared in the prescribed format. So kindly follow all the formats as mentioned in the RFP. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for participating in today's pre-proposal conference.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. इनका चैट सेव कर लीजिए। और तुम्हारे पास पेन ड्राइव है मुझे म्यूट ही है ना म्यूट वो वाला म्यूट कर दीजिएगा।
टू में तुम्हें भेजने के टाइम आएगा ना, ऐसे नहीं आएगा।